Absolutely, and that one was really quick, but I think we have some backup magic here as well for this round. So let's go ahead and try to send it on back down to the feature match area and get a second round in after that blistering fast win by our Merfolk deck. And no, I might have to go into my magic collection, start off my Merfolk cards. I need to go find my Aether Vials.
Might as well.
I'll keep as well.
Look, I'm not above playing Merfolk. I've played it in a major tournament before. I've always kind of secretly liked that deck, but you know it's a blue tempo-ish deck that you don't need much to get me to play one of those.
Yeah, fetch and shot.
I know what you mean.
17 to 20.
All right, let's look at Benjamin on the left side here playing 4 Copycat against Nick playing Izzet Murktide. Looks like I think we're going to be getting the whole match here as well. We can get a confirmation from Honor Rock here, but it does look like this is going to be game 1. Yep, we're going to get the whole match here for y'all. Since the other one got done so quick, a lot of bonus magic here this round.
I'm going to crack this on your end step. Going to 19 to 17.
No, we get it again. We get a turn 1 Ragavan. Let's see if this one will actually hit. I'm gonna try to keep track of how many Ragavans actually get to hit their opponents in the matches today. Benjamin's gonna go ahead and fetch up at the end of turn for Nick here. He's gonna go ahead and get one of those triomes.
This one's likely to hit. I mean, I guess I'm gonna get Ren down or like Light Halfling come in front of it to block. I'm taking just like a quick look at Benjamin's list, and I really like it. It's like basically just your classic 4-color Omnath deck with 3 Saheeli Rise and 3 Feldar Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, oh no, Noah, the dreaded turn 2 Rin 6 to take care of that pesky monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, Ragavan, not really seeing too much.
He's been outclassed. He's been outclassed a lot lately. Well, there we go. This will happen, but this one's going to hit the Rin 6, though. So dash monkey. And doesn't look like there's anything in Benjamin's hand to help protect that Rin 6, so that monkey is going to get through, but no trigger here, no treasure build up, because that's only from combat damage to a player. But it did buy a lot of time for Benjamin here.
Play a Flooded Strand.
Take a look at his hand here. I see 2 Omnats, Feldar Guardian, a 1 ring. But importantly, no 4th land. Does have a Leyline in his hand, though. Leyline Binding to be able to take care of another threat from Nick here. Let's see if Nick has one of those threats. Back over to him for turn 3. See a handful of spells, so a lot going on here for Nick. There we go. We got another Ragavan. This one's getting hard cast. And a second mana put up. When your player plays the Ragavan here, doesn't dash it and leaves up 2 mana, does that send off a little bit of warning bells to you, Noah?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the thing is, it might just be fine if you're Nick either way, right? Like, yeah, I want to get some value off my Ragavan, but also, like, you've kind of shown me that you don't have a Ren in your hand. It's like, I don't want to just dash it every single turn. I'll probably end up getting a little bit more value if I, spend this turn trying to stick it, and then it's just in play for the rest of the game. So I like the play from Nick, even if he doesn't have a counterspell here. It kind of screams like I have a counterspell, but also I think it just kind of screams like you don't have Ren, and I want more value off of my Ragavan than spending 2 mana on it every single turn.
I believe it's a Plains just got added to play, so Ragavan, Triome, Temple Garden, Plains for Benjamin on the side. He's going to go ahead and draw a card. Let's see, does he hit that 4th mana source that he needed desperately? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, he drew another 1 ring. Unfortunately for him, I think that means he's got no plays this turn.
I feel really crappy doing this. We went to he cracked a bubble on his turn. He passed the turn. I said untap, upkeep, draw. I didn't give a ton of time, but there was a little bit of time. I wanted to let you roll. After I drew, they then said bubble trigger to draw the card.
Gotcha. Looks like we have a judge call.
I think this is Nick wishing to use Fire Ice, and not. I think the communication was just a little bit wonky.
In that case,
and we're trying to decide right now which portion of Benjamin's turn we're actually inside of. So.
Yeah, we're just getting the timing down here. It seems like the players are going to sort that out. We're going to come back to the booth just for a second while that judge call gets sorted out.
I'm sure. It'll
Yeah,
get fixed
in
up
this
nice
kind of
and easy.
matchup, have you played either side of this matchup before? The 4-color deck versus. Oh, it looks like we're gonna get back in. It looks like he was not allowed to do so, but there was no fourth thing from Benjamin anyway.
Yeah, it looks like he got
missed an early
incredibly
turn.
lucky, actually. Like, not using it on the one turn when Benjamin doesn't have a fourth land, and then now being able to use it next turn. When,
If I'm Benjamin and I don't have a fourth land there, I kind of want him to use Fire Ice there, right? Like, you don't want to get
Yeah.
Fire Ice this turn coming up, but if you draw
Exactly.
your fourth land, yeah. I almost feel
Exactly.
like, yeah, man, give it to me. Give me the Fire Ice. All right, Expressive Iteration. Looks like we got 3 things to choose from. Spell Pierce, Bobble, and Counterspell. Counterspell going to go to the hand. Bobble going to go exiled. Spell Pierce going to go to the bottom of the deck. Is there a fourth mana source for Nick here? Doesn't look like it, but he gets to see what the top of the deck is for Benjamin.
I think
Maybe
Nick has an
slow
island
on
in hand, actually.
He does? Okay, I was supposed to say, we're just slow rolling a little bit here. Okay. All right. So he's going to make sure the upkeep happens here to pass that upkeep draw.
Or wait, maybe was he missing a bobble trigger before? I'm almost certain I saw an island in his hand, so I'm not sure why he didn't deploy.
Yeah. Well, it looks like no fourth land again for Benjamin and no play yet again for him. So back over to Nick. Nick knows that there's no fourth land, but you've got to believe he knows that the cards that left over Benjamin's hand are being really, really powerful. Expressive Iteration, hopefully finding that fourth mana source for Nick here. I think he missed on it. I think it's 3 spells yet again. I think it's Lightning Bolt's going to go to hand. Ragavan's going to go to exile, and then I couldn't tell exactly what that card was, but that's going to go to the bottom of the deck. Look at that. Ragavan's going to get...
Ragavan resolves.
Oh, there is an island. Okay.
Misstep last turn. I'm not sure what happened as far as him not playing it or not. But.
Delighted Halfling.
So Benjamin found something to do here. Looks like a Delighted Halfling. That's kind of like a fourth mana source, Noah, but you gotta believe it's not gonna be long for this world if Nick has any way to take care of it.
And it can be countered. If I'm not 100% sure, I'll absolutely call for Oracle. I will pass to you now.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to make sure the Oracle text is correct on this card because I don't think that card's in English
That makes sense.
for Nick.
Just too drippy over here.
Yeah, it's
Magic
everyone,
players
man.
these days.
Drip. The MXP San Francisco Drip Tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean it's expensive enough to live in California. They're like, might as well just be drippy.
You got it.
I was wondering where you were gonna go with that, and I was not disappointed. Preordained looks like to find another counter spell at the top of the deck for Nick here. Didn't see it glimpse the second card. Looks like they put both of them back on top. Draw for that as well. Was that a One Ring of his own that just got added to his hand? Hard to tell from this angle. Yeah, it's got a Lightning Bolt that light Halfling.
I will float a colorless.
That is summoning sick, right?
Move to combat.
Go to combat.
Looks like it got bolted. Oh, he was trying to tap it and then realized.
Yeah, he said he float a mana. That was, yeah, whatever. It's not gonna matter. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like Solitude's gonna go ahead and take care of this Ragavan. Well, at least it's gonna try to take care of this Ragavan. Let's see what we're gonna pitch for Benjamin here. It looks like he's gonna pitch it on Omnath.
Evoking is a cast, right? Goes on
Yes.
stack.
Yeah. But Nick making sure this is something he can counterspell. So there's the counterspell.
That is countered. Yeah, that was exile.
It's gonna resolve here.
And no blocks, go to damage. 14 to 17.
So Ragavan finally hitting Noah. We've seen a bunch of them today. This one's finally gonna get through after a big fight.
Monkey time.
Yep. Treasure gonna go onto Nick's side of the board. You have to do the other part of this trigger. You can't half resolve this.
Let me read this real quick.
Yeah, hopefully we.
All right, looks like we're gonna miss the other half of this. Yeah, I think Benjamin's making sure here. You can't
Judge?
half resolve a trigger.
Judge!
Yeah. So, looks like we're gonna have another judge call here. They're gonna come back to the booth. They're just gonna figure that out. That's something that, so you're allowed to miss triggers, but you're not allowed to miss like half of a trigger.
Yeah.
So like, since this is hit and the treasure was made, the top card is gonna get exiled here. As far as I know, I don't know if the ruling has changed, but as far as I know, this.
There you are.
All right. Now I'll pass the turn.
Yeah.
Untapped.
Halfling got exiled and cast for Nick here. A nice little value off of the Ragavan. Another 4-drop added to Ben's hand, I think, here. I might be wrong. Looks like he's casting something. Oh, he got a
Ren.
Sticks, yeah. This could
quite
take
good.
care of the.
I'll play
It
random.
probably needs to
ST
grab a
right now.
land, no?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, do you kill Ragavan or do you draw a land? That's a hard spot. Looks like he's gonna kill the Ragavan.
Actually, I guess you kill
playing-
Ragavan and then it should be alive next turn, and then you can pick up the land, so it's fine.
Yeah, as long as there's no bolt or unholy heat from the Izzet player. Yeah, I mean, if they just have a purely reactionary thing and reactionary hand, then yeah, it should stay around.
Good combat.
I mean, I think it's just mono blue cards other than a Underworld Breach for Nick here, but Underworld Breach
Better damage.
can get the. I think there's a Lightning Bolt in the graveyard if he wants to go that far.
Second main.
Did they give a time extension for that? Okay, cool. Just double check. Cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of tough.
So here we go, a huge Murktide from Nick here. Let's see how big this one's gonna be.
Murktide plus hold up counterspell also just like quite a good turn here.
Yeah,
for
that's really good. Yeah, especially with your opponent just not doing much over the last few turns. Like they're gonna get their fourth mana here though, but like you said, you're gonna be holding up counterspell, so like you know the fourth mana is coming, right? So
Good. 3 counters.
Cool. Can I see your favorite?
Yes. Go ahead.
looks like I think 3 counters. I think is what he said was on the Murktide.
Murktide Regent
Got a
resolve.
6 flyer and a Delighted Halfling in play for Nick. Maybe back over to Benjamin, who's finally gonna have 4 mana for one of his turns here.
Untap step. Draw for turn. I'm going to plus from 1 to 2. Putting Flooded Strand back in my hand. I'll play Flooded Strand. Crack it. Going to 13. 13 to 17. Is that what you have?
Yes.
Cool.
Fourth one gonna be absolutely huge here.
Get an island.
Can unlock all of Benjamin, right? This has been uncastable here for these last few turns.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've been waiting for this this whole time.
Your cut if you like.
One really cool part about Benjamin's build having
I'm
like
going to cast the
you know
creature,
the sort of
spell it or
copycat
guardian.
win con.
That makes a
Yeah, it's
copy
being able to
of,
just fill out our guardian and blink.
No, it flickers a target permanent I control.
Leyline binding, stuff like that. Here in specific, like being able to leyline binding, blink,
Counterspell.
or sorry, fill out our guardian, blink, leyline binding, get rid of Murktide, and just like give your opponent a Ragavan that can't even attack through fill out our guardian. Would have been like ginormous.
Yeah, that would have been really, really good. But you know, we've seen Nick kind of filling his hand up here these last couple turns. He's got that counter spell at the ready. So it looks like he's going to get in a big chunk of an attack here. Looks like the hand is Scalding Tarn, the One Ring, Counterspell, and Underworld Breach for Nick here.
Yeah, certainly a decent hand. Yeah, the One Ring, a card we don't really see too often in these Izzet Murktide builds.
No blocks. I'll take 7. Going to.
No, 100%.
6.
Like, yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Nick draw. It's still just a very powerful card. Looks like 7's going to come across Benjamin here. Go ahead and ignore a Red and 6. Kind of like that play from Nick here. Let's try to get this game over as quickly as possible. You've got a counterspell you're sitting on. You've got lethal damage in play, set up, ready to go.
Draw for turn.
Looks like Nick's just going to go ahead and pass on back over.
I would have liked to see Nick play the One Ring on this turn just to get a little bit of card advantage. You don't really need the protection in this matchup as much, so I would have really liked to see
Blue,
Nick
white, green, red.
try to get some stuff
Cast
going.
Omna.
on the stack. Counterspell.
Looks like we're going to have another counterspell here. That should
go to
be
the next one.
enough
Well
for
done.
Nick to get the game. Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry about the mistake.
Yep, and so Nick's going to move up to 1-0 here in this match as these players were sideboarding for game 2. Welcome back to the booth. I'm Tana Grace, joined by Noah Walker. We are here covering Laughing Dragons MXP San Francisco Modern 20K. And don't forget that this broadcast is brought to you by Heavy Play. Make sure you check them out for all your gaming accessory needs. I know Anu is a big fan of it, been using all of it. You can see some of it being used right now on the screen. So check them out, Heavy Play.
4 blockers. Celestial Purge Ragavan.
Okay. What does it do?
That's a sweet one. Oh, Celestial Purge out of Benjamin here. Gonna take care of the Ragavan.
And would you like to get Oracle text?
That's fine.
I'm 100% certain.
Okay. Why can't I just
Gonna take care of that Ragavan.
Second main.
No, these turn 1 Ragavans just never hit.
Yeah, they're not destined for this world. It's a cruel, cruel world for a small monkey.
It really, really is, man. He just he just wants to play. Like he just wants to hang out.
Yeah. It's almost like the card is so powerful that everyone just has to build their deck with considerations to having some sort of answer on their turn 2. Otherwise, the game ends. So
Yeah, it looks like we got a preordained bottom draw here. Does Nick have a second mana source?
I hope
It's taking a
so.
little bit. Taking a little bit of time here. I don't know what's going on. Looks like we have a judge call maybe away from the table.
Oh, oh,
I think we're having a little bit of a break for one of the players here. So looks
the
like we'll
old mid
probably
game
come.
P.
Yeah, it looks like exactly. Hey, we all been there. You know what I mean? What's the quote from Jeff Goldman? You gotta go. You gotta go.
You do gotta go when you gotta be going. So
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, so definitely going to take time yet again. Make sure you check out that sponsor, Heavy Play, for the broadcast here today. They've been sponsoring a lot of our broadcasts here lately. I'm a big fan of a lot of their stuff. Make sure you check them out. Tons of stuff like sleeves. The deck boxes are awesome. I was talking about one of them earlier that can fit, I think it was like 130 double sleeved cards. And no, I don't know if you play a lot of like 100 card formats. I play a decent amount of them, and having the extra space in your deck box is huge. I'm not a big double sleever, but just having the extra space for like tokens, dice, like some pieces of paper maybe so you can write down life totals and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of being able to fit everything into one box so I don't have to like have a bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds awesome.
I was gonna say, I think Anurag was telling. We'll say Anurag's trying to tell me something, but I can't understand him. Give me 1 second here. All right, it looks like we actually have an ad from Heavy Play that we're going to be cutting to. We'll be right back with the rest of this match after this ad.
This is the Heavy Play Equip Mag system. It'll revolutionize the way you pack and play. Attach dice, bundle decks, connect to the playmat. Equip Mag magnets are integrated into our playmat, deck boxes, and dice boxes. On game day, when you're moving between matches, no longer do you have to juggle a floppy playmat, all these loose objects. Snap it all together, grab it in a single hand, and you're ready to go. Our vision for card gaming accessories is all about enhanced ergonomics, mobility, and protection. All of our products are experience driven and here to help you eliminate friction so you can focus on gameplay.
So you can see that heavyplay.com. Check that out. I definitely want to get some of that magnetic stuff. No, I'm notorious for leaving stuff on the table and kind of like having stuff spread out everywhere. I think this will help keep me less cluttered.
Say these look really super sick. I think if I was still in my grinder days, I would definitely be checking out Heavy Play, and their products all look super awesome.
It looks like we're going to go right back to where we were. Nick hasn't played his. We're in turn 2. He's resolved preordained, so he can play make a land drop. So there we go. Bluff. Looks like we're going to have another monkey here for Nick. So another Ragavan. So another thing for Benjamin to have to deal with right away.
Yeah, I mean, one good part of your Nick is that Benjamin used Celestial Purge to answer the first Ragavan, so that means that he almost certainly doesn't have access to something like Ren, right? Yeah. You could have just picked one up or something, but it seems super unlikely for there to be a Ren in here.
Well, it looks like it's just going to be a ley line. That was a Sacred Foundry that's played for turns. I think it's Sacred Foundry are going to Triumph Forest in play here, and then it's going to be followed up by a Delighted Halfling from Benjamin. Very good turn for Benjamin there. He answers the monkey, develops his board a little bit with Delighted Halfling. So this way, if he doesn't have that fourth land like he had the last couple games, he'll still be able to play some of those super impactful 4 drops. Looks like it's going to be Steam Vents. Pass back from Nick. Still holding up that 2 mana that we've seen a lot. Conspicuously.
Yeah, the Halfling is going to put in a lot of work here, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like we're going to have... I think this is going to be a Teferi here for Benjamin.
Perfect card to cast
I'll
off
tap
the
this
Halfling.
for red.
Right.
Cast the 1 ring.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, wondering.
I will activate.
Going to
the
come
ring,
in,
putting
going to hit
1
play.
counter
We're going to draw a
on
card
one
off of it. Like you said, the Light Halfling putting in a lot of work here now.
Are we using this?
No, sorry.
Okay. It's all good.
Back over to Nick here, and if you're Izzet Murktide, is there really any way you can like deal with the ring once it starts getting going?
No, not at all. I mean, like, you could hope that it deals him a bunch of damage, and, like, try to get some sort of clock, but, you know, just looking at Nick's list, sometimes you see, like you were saying earlier, like Upraise and Borrow or something in these decks. This list I don't
And
see
trigger
anything
here, I
like
go
that.
down 1 life, 250.
Exiles? No, most of the
Drop
artifact destruction that he has just kills, like Chattering Spree,
Activate the ring, going from 1 to 2
Cast into Fire?
counters.
Exiles? Oh,
Draw
yeah,
2
he has 1
cards.
cast into fire. So that's
That is a
about it.
flavor win, by the way. That Cast into Fire can kill the
Tap
one.
4 blue.
Yeah.
I would be pretty upset if a card
Thanks for
Cast
carrying,
into Fire
Pineapple.
could not kill the One Ring.
Yeah. That is definitely a dub, flavor dub there.
I will plus Teferi. And I will.
Alright, and Ben's just kind of operating on all cylinders here. He's got a ring going, he's got the Teferi in play. The shields are up for him here, and there's nothing on Nick's side of the board yet to even threaten him. So if I'm Benjamin, I'm feeling pretty good about this game so far.
Yeah, totally. I mean, with the setup he has right here, if in his next 4 cards there's a Saheeli Rai, he wins the game.
Yeah, just on the spot. And like that's something we
Yes.
don't see out of the 4-color deck very often, is that he can just end the game immediately, right?
Yes.
And so, Nick looking at a land and a lightning bolt here, a couple more lightning bolts in his hand, it looks like.
We put both on the bottom.
I don't want these.
And drop.
Yep, looks like he agrees with you. Putting those away. It looks like we're going to have a Mission's Wobble come into play here. Take a peek at the top card from Benjamin here.
It's not too bad. It's reasonable here. If you're Nick, you can't really just sit here and try to play like a reactive game plan against your opponent's deck that kind of has more longevity in the matchup. So it's really tough to try to navigate these turns with like, you know, removal spell heavy hands.
I'm gonna crack
Oh wait, what is
this.
this
Go to
pass?
14.
He might have forgot about the Teferi passive, or possibly the Unholy Heat isn't active yet.
Yeah, let's say I know that he has an artifact in his yard, and then other than that, I can't tell. I think there's a
Artifact, there's definitely a Ragavan as well that died on, or
No.
no, there's not. There's not actually. Both of them got exiled.
Okay.
So maybe it's just not active.
Going to
there's a
12.
land and there's a blue card. I'm pretty sure.
Draw for turn.
So it's probably 3 and not 4.
Activate the ring. Going from 2 to 3. Drawing 3 cards.
Benjamin just keeping his hand chock full here every turn, drawing 3 extra cards here off the
I'll
ring.
play a Flooded Strand.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like he drew just like grip
I
of
will-
lands, but
Plus Teferi. Going from 5 to 6.
Ferry going up to 6 here. Starting to get out of range of almost everything here at this point. This Unholy Heat's gonna have to do some heavy lifting.
I will.
If Nick can get it to do that.
I mean, this game is just looking done already. Honestly, like I don't think there's anything Nick can really do to get
tap
back into a
for-
game like this unless Ben
Red.
dies to One
Cast
Ring.
One Ring.
I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah, I think he, with the Teferi in play, and he just played a second copy of the One Ring, there's so many ways for that to be mitigated.
Well, and you could
Like,
just Felidar blink it. It's like
yeah,
there's
there's so
just
many
endless-
different ways, right? I didn't even think about that. You have Felidar in this deck too. That's just another cool way to make the ring. Another Force of Negation here picked up by Nick. That's not
Yeah.
good when there's Teferi in play. You can see his hands with a bunch of burn spells in it. Underworld Breach. It has a Murktide. But there's that stress of the Murktide and the Unholy Heat. And then Murktide versus an active Teferi is also pretty scary and bad, because this is going to just get bounced right back to his hand.
4, so 1,
It
2,
looks like it's
3,
going to be
4,
a
5, 6,
4/4
7.
Murktide.
You got it.
too bad. I mean, pretty decent here.
And then I will pass to you.
On your end step, I'm going to crack this. Go to 11.
Maybe going down to 11 here, cracking this Flooded Strand. during Nick's end step. Search up another land here.
Seems to be like,
basically this time.
yeah, he's just
I'm gonna
looking for
activate the ring also
the
on your end
Sahili
step.
still, right? Like,
Sounds good.
Yeah, just thinning the deck quite a bit, just trying to find the way to end the game immediately. The biggest thing for him here is, I think, it's time. You know, he wants to make sure he gets this game done with in a decent amount of time. So they have
Totally,
time for the
totally.
third game.
I lose 1, going to 10.
Yeah, fetch down to 11, ring down to
Drop
10.
the turn.
Yep.
Activate the ring. Draw 2 cards.
another draw 2.
Still hasn't found a Sahili.
Play for.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the way he seven his mana this quickly, maybe he did, yeah.
Tap for white and cast Omnath.
No Sahili. I finally saw him fan through his entire hand.
Yeah.
That's a Rin and 6. That is a Planeswalker, but it's not Sahili, right?
Play a Wooded Foothills, gain 4 life, going to 14.
Oh wait, you could still even have it here.
Draw a card for that.
No, because the Omnath trigger.
Was Teferi at 7 or at 6? I feel like it was at 6. I don't think it's going to matter here, but
Crack this.
It probably had to be at 6 just because there's only 1 die on it, unless it's a D7. It looks like a D6, but yeah.
Yeah, it went down to 4 here. I think that should be at 3 loyalty.
Get a Temple Garden. I'm going to decide if it's coming in tapped or not. I'll have it come in tapped. Trigger, make 4 mana.
Yep.
There's an extra
I'm
mana.
going to use the 4 mana to cast Felidar Guardian.
Right.
And I'm going to.
You can do a lot of spicy things with
Flicker.
Felidar, right? You can bounce a land, trigger Omnath again. You could bounce Omnath to draw another card. You could bounce the ring to reset it. You could bounce, yeah, it's just everything.
Yeah, it's just there's so many good.
This
There's no
forest.
bad target almost. Yeah.
Trigger does 4 damage to you.
16.
Sorry, I hit yours. That's okay.
Yeah, I've been doing yours.
Tap for green and red. Cast Ren and 6.
Yep.
I will
Another game just with an
+1
embarrassment of
on six.
riches. Like, Benjamin just has so much going on here.
Yeah, this looks like a game of Commander where only one player is playing.
Yeah.
I'm going to discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 more. I'm going to ditch.
Yeah, discarding for hand size here. Yeah, I think this game's pretty wrapped up. I'm trying to think of what Nick can do to get out of this. I think there's just too much going on. He has no cards in his graveyard, so he can't use Unholy Heat to take down these Planeswalkers or this Omnath.
You got it.
Lightning Bolt's not going to get it done on any of these things that are in play. You see the look on Nick's face. It's kind of like, oh, this looks bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go ahead and scoop it up and go to game 3.
Yeah, just kind of asking for too much there. There's just nothing you can really do there if you're Nick.
Yeah, we saw this 4-color deck twice this round, right? Like, so, the first part of the round we saw it gets Merfolk and kind of just get beat up. And then this is a game where you see it really flex its muscle. As the game goes on, all of the spells that it casts are so powerful. And they just keep cascading into play of more and more things and more value. And it's really hard to come back from.
Totally.
Touching and shocking. Then I would play a Darcy.
Gonna have a turn 1 fetch for Steam Vents here for
Wait,
Nick.
what?
I
Darcy.
think going down to 17 most likely. See if we have another turn 1 Ragavan, and if Benjamin's up to the task of dealing with this one.
I haven't heard that.
Looks like just
Oh,
a
really?
DRC here this time. Dragon Rage Chandler put into play.
Important to wanna, playing these blue-red tempo decks against like the mid-range decks, it's very similar to what I was talking about before, like about like the aggro decks versus the mid-range decks. As far as like the first couple turns of the game, I feel like really define
Play a
what's
breeding
going to
pool
happen.
Yeah, 100%. Is it a
And then
breeding
I'll
pool
pass
for
to you.
Benjamin? I see a Sahili Rye in his hand now. He finally found one, Noah. He's just a little late to the party.
Untap
Yeah.
and drop.
She's
needed
not
that.
looking so hot here.
Yeah. It's not like you really needed it in game 2 anyway.
Yeah.
I
No
think I see
lands?
this
Oh,
was a
no.
one lander for Nick. Does have a force of negation here. And he has some ways to, if he plays some
No
spells, then he
bugs.
might be
Take
able
one,
to
go to
trigger
19 to
this
17.
DRC, maybe find with the Surveil a land on top. But I don't think I saw a Preordain in his hand.
Taps down. Drop the turn.
That's going to be rough for Nick here.
You did
Oh,
not.
I
Did he have a
apologize.
lightning bolt to say? I wonder if you're supposed to like
Yeah, 19
upkeep
to 17.
lightning bolt Benjamin to trigger your DRC before you draw, or is that might just be too greedy?
I will play.
Also, you know, Benjamin had something like Ren and 6 here. This game would be in a really rough spot
and I
right
will
away.
pass to you.
Untap and drop.
Celestial Purge in his hand though. We draw for turn. I think that was a Ragavan off the top, so not a land here again for Nick.
Celestial Purge.
That's exile.
Looks like that Celestial Purge is going
Yes.
to come out to play, take care of the
Second main. Play
Dragon Rage
Abrams.
Chandler, and then that top deck Ragavan is going to get played for Nick here. Pass back over to Ben. Omnath off the top for Benjamin here. Lots of options in his hand. I think it's he got Flusterstorm, along with a bunch of other really powerful spells.
Windswept Heath.
And once it Heath's to play for the turn.
And I will pass to you.
These don't look like they answer Ragavan very well.
I see a Leyline Binding. I think it's
Yeah,
one
but
of
that's
the
only
cards in his
one.
hand.
Yeah.
Spell Pierce picked up for Nick here. You know, a card that he can actually cast. That's
That's
nice.
Quite good. Quite good.
All right, so there's one up Heath's going to go and find a Triome, I have to believe. Looks like we're going to have a Leyline Binding get cast here. And Nick might be able to find a second mana source here if he can get this Ragavan to connect against Benjamin.
The Sacred Foundry untapped.
Yep.
And I'm going to tap the Plains and Sacred Foundry. To cast a Leyline Binding.
Play Spell Pierce.
So Leyline Binding is going to get met with that Spell
Pierce.
Pierce. Is this a mystical dispute back from Benjamin? It looks like it's the Flusterstorm that we were talking about earlier. So Flusterstorm's going to go ahead and take care of
Leyline
that.
Binding resolves.
Leyline Binding is then going to then resolve, take care of the Ragavan, and we're back to square one for Nick here, and really needing some lands off the top of his deck.
Draw
Not
the
so
turn.
hot. Not so hot.
Is there a fourth mana for Benjamin here to kind of put the nail in the coffin? It looks like
there
there is.
is. There's the combo as well. I'm pretty sure he has both
Delighted Halfling?
ends of the combo.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Delighted Halfling is going to get
Sahili.
added to the board here. 3 mana is going to make Sahili Rye, and that's going to start setting up for this combo as soon as next turn. So Healy's going to go up to 4,
Lose 1 life.
putting it
And
out of
then
lightning bolt
consider the
range.
strides
Very
sitting
important.
Over here. 16 all, is that what you have?
Yes.
You mind changing that?
Delighted Halfling Sahili deck. It just seems really cool. I'm not sure if it's like
Put that on the map.
better or worse than like your typical build,
It makes
but
a
all I know
copy
is that
of
it
a
looks
creature or
really
an
really
artifact
interesting.
until end of
Mhm.
turn. I think it gives it haste.
I'm not hating it. I'm kind of liking it. The Feldar Guardians have been impressive when they've come out. They've blinking almost any of the permanents has been really good.
Totally.
Yeah, we saw Yorion in these decks back in the day, right? So like
You got
Oh,
they
yeah.
do something similar. All right. Well, a land was not found, but Preordain was. If no mana source is found here though for Nick, and no way to interact with Healy Rye, the game is going to end on the spot.
Yes. Sad to watch, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like 2 to the bottom, and I think a Steam Vents off the top for Nick
Which is
here.
good. Good. Hopefully he pays 2 life even if he doesn't have the rune spell. Okay, he does.
14 to
Very
16.
important.
One more.
I went back up.
Yeah, it's not.
So the real question here is going to be what Nick's I should say like comfortability is with the combo if he understands the samurai combo because it's kind of an older combo. It's a little bit tough tough to know exactly like what your window of interaction is if you haven't played against the combo very often. So.
I think.
Yeah, Nick taking a look to see what he can do here. These counter spells don't do anything. All 3 of the counter spells in his hand
Yeah,
don't interact here.
Yeah, what it does is if this resolves when it enters the battlefield, I flicker a permanent I control. It would be me flickering Saheeli. I then -2 Saheeli, making a copy of this, which flickers this. I then -2 Saheeli, which makes another and another, and so on and so forth.
Does it?
They have
for
haste.
They have haste.
They have haste.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Thank you for the game.
Yeah,
No.
it's
Great
good.
job, man.
Like,
Sorry for the mana.
I'm sad.
No, it happens.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's something that some players, I'm sure one of his friends will tell him, later, explain
Yeah.
the situation
I
a little
mean-
bit to him or whatever.
And at the end of the day, it's like if you're playing Magic in the year 2024, like, and you actually know what the combo does and how to properly interact with it, you're probably just a dinosaur. So